Firstly, I want to state that this is the first video in a very long time that I'm recording without any type of assistance from anybody. So if the set that I'm sitting in is all over the place, or my audio isn't working properly, or my head is like cut off from the camera angle, well, I'm working with it. The intensity level of the energy that we're experiencing on the planet has continued to rise incredibly quickly. It started around 2019 in my own felt experience. I'm in no way in any understanding of astrology or planets. I just feel stuff. So that's what I'm going based on. And then I also have a lot of information that is being consistently reflected and validated in certain ways through my students and the people that I work with and support. But we're in an unprecedented time where so much of our daily life has become so unnatural. And I'm not here to complain about it or say that it's supposed to be another way, because a lot of these technological advancements have been incredibly supportive. They've been a real gift to how we can live life and the things we get to experience. Now, on top of that, there's also aspects of it, as you know, that are incredibly detrimental to our humanity, to our nervous system, to our spirit, to our body, and to our health. The rate of illness on the planet, the rate of autoimmune conditions on the planet, the rate of mental health issues that are being experienced that have drastically risen, firstly from around 2013 when the smartphone began to come into existence, but then very acutely also another spike around 2020, of course, from the pandemic. We are being driven at such an intense pace in our lives that it feels as though we are moving towards a certain level of extinction. The more we leave our humanity, the more we forget what we are, the more we forget how we work, the more challenging it is for us to even be able to take a deep breath, to feel relaxed, to feel peaceful and regulated on a daily basis. The more challenging all of this is, the more it compounds on top of itself, the faster we go and the more stressed out we become, the more unwell we ultimately end up. Because of this, we're struggling massively as a human race to reproduce offspring. Not everyone, of course, but compared to how it used to be, our reproductive powers, our vitality, our essence is being sucked dry, excuse the pun, from living in a way that is incredibly detrimental to our system. If you're watching this, I'm assuming that you probably experience a high level of stress. Now, the tricky part of this is a lot of people are so used to a high level of stress, are so used to being exhausted, are so used to being fatigued, overwhelmed and overstimulated all of the time, that they just assume that's baseline. Because there's a level of numbness that has had to come in that has grabbed them, essentially to help them not have to feel so unwell all the time and destabilized. So it becomes normalized. Now, in one way, it's a protection mechanism for us to keep going, for our survival. But in another way, it's the thing that's killing us quickly. Please remember that your life does not need to be so complicated, so stressed, so overwhelmed, and so lacking peace. It's becoming more and more challenging to disconnect from the madness, because in order to be here on the planet, the madness is essentially trying to hook you into everything. So you become dependent on it. My invitation is to work with the madness. There's no need to run from anything. That's a problem in itself. So how can I exist within it without ever being of it? It's probably one of the most challenging things to do initially, because you will have to become so discerning and aware and boundaried for what you accept and what you don't accept. We're at where we're at, and I trust that there's divine hands on all of it, guiding all of it. But I see day in and day out, I can feel it day in and day out, the pressure cooker that people are finding themselves in right now. I firstly want to say that you're not alone, that so many people are experiencing the intensity and the challenges right now. Please learn, please take this opportunity to learn how to be more loving with yourself, more compassionate with yourself, how to be a bit more disciplined in the boundaries that you want to stand for in relation to you living life. And also understanding that many people are going through the same, if not more intense experiences than you. So please share that love and pass that love on to other people. To be more compassionate, to be more tolerant, to be more generous with those around us. This life is not the everything. We're just here to learn some things. I believe deeply that the purpose of all of this is love. How loving and how generous can I be, not just for myself, but especially with others around me. Listen to your body, feel your body. Be aware of your nervous system. Everything here is energy, everything is energetics. You are electrical and magnetic. It's similar to owning a car or borrowing a car. You got to understand the car. You have to understand what the car runs on. Well, if you drive that car too hard and there's not enough fuel in it, you're going to burn the engine out. And then once the engine goes, everything else starts to fall to pieces. Rather than you making the decisions from your head or from your fear or from the conditioning of what this society and what the madness is asking of you, please start to ask your body what it wants, how it wants to move, what it is available for. Never in this world, I would imagine, have we ever been so immediately available and contactable to any human who ever wants to contact us. You get to say no to that. You get to distance yourself from that. You get to set up how it works for you. As you can see, I'm veering all over the place in this communication, but I just want to share these things. They're simple in essence, but because we get so caught by it, we lose all sense of consciousness. And that is what I feel is leaking and hurting people more than ever right now. You are nature. You are of nature. You must remember that. You must do your very best to spend some time in nature, to remember nature, to remember yourself. You're not out here alone. There's divine hands all over you. Sound pretty creepy, but you get it. There's a lot of God here. But we have to be willing to actually sit back into ourselves and get still enough to cultivate that relationship with it, with yourself, with your breath, with your body, with your spirit. Because eventually you won't be here in this capacity anymore. And you never want to be laying at the end, thinking to yourself, I wish I didn't spend so much time on my phone. I wish I didn't spend so much time stressing and worrying about shit that didn't actually matter. It's the simple present moments that are full of love that we cherish the most, that bring the most amount of meaning to our time here. So are you cultivating a life that has the space for that? Or are you so busy trying to keep up that you've forgotten yourself? Please, with everything I've said, do your utmost not to take it all too seriously here. Have fun, enjoy yourself, and just try to be kinder to yourself and others. I have no fucking clue what I've said in this video, but I hope it helps something. All right, thank you. Much love.